Hi guys, it's Kamil here, and it's been 6 years since I've been doing it. 6 years, Jesus. If any of you thinks that it's time for me to move on, I definitely agree. Okay, it's been 6 years, and during that 6 years, as of 2014, I've been ranking the books I've read in any given year. Today we will go through those lists to compile the list of favorite fiction and non-fiction I've read over the last 6 years that I've been on BookTube. There will be two lists, top 10 fiction and top 10 non-fiction. I'm a bit worried about the potential length of this video, as even though there were years when I was doing only top 5 lists, over the last 2 years I did a separate top 10 list for fiction and non-fiction, so even reading the titles might take too long. Therefore, there will be no descriptions of books, but I will, although very reluctantly, link my videos from the previous year below. Reluctantly, as 2017 is the first year that when I watch it now, I feel reasonably comfortable. But the videos earlier than that evoke in me a huge amount of discomfort, with 2 spoons of cringe. So yeah, I was inspired to do this video after seeing a similar one done by Olive from Book Olive. I link her video down in the box below. I found it very entertaining, so go ahead and check her channel if you haven't yet. I will be looking down below at my laptop in front of me, so please forgive me that. Okay, we'll start from 2014. Number 10, Ancillary Justice, Unlucky. It's a great science fiction, but definitely not the one for the top 10 lists of favorite books. Then we have The Enchanted by René Denfeld. I really enjoyed it. I don't think about it much anymore. The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy is only at number 8. And that shows you that my standards back then weren't that pristine as they are right now. But yes, definitely it should have been way higher. And definitely it's one of the favorites. A book that I constantly talk about, return to. This is a fantastic novel. So I'm keeping that one for the top 10 lists of the last 6 years. Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. This is my favorite novel by Margaret Atwood by a mile. I will keep it for now, okay? We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen J. Fowler was number 6 in 2014. No, I mean, a great book, but there won't be room enough for that one. Then number 5 is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. I loved it. Yeah, I will keep it for now, okay? Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. One of my favorite novels of all time, so definitely we are keeping it. The Good Lord Bird by James McBride was number 3. You know, you can see that time is a fantastic verifier of certain novels, as good as it is, and maybe I would be as impressed if I reread it. Somehow I never did, and I don't think about it anymore. So I'm not keeping it. Then number 2 is The Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri, and what I just said applies to that one even more. I believe that if I picked it up right now and read it, I would be as blown away with those short stories by Jhumpa Lahiri as I was back then. But I don't think about this book at all, and I never really got around to rereading it. So yes, I will leave it in the dust of time. Yeah, we are creating poetry here, Kamil. And number 1 was Disgraced by James Coetzee. Obviously, it wasn't the first time I read this novel. This is my favorite novel, probably favorite novel of all times. But I think it would be unfair to keep it and to include it in the selection of the top 10 best books that I've read over the last 6 years, because I've read it a few times earlier than 2014. So I won't keep it as the potential runner just because of that, because let's keep it fair, okay, as far as it could be. So I had 4 books that I kept for the potential selection. It was The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, Oryx and Craig by Margaret Atwood, The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin, and Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. We will, for now, get rid of Oryx and Craig by Margaret Atwood. I will go further with The God of Small Things, The Left Hand of Darkness, and Song of Solomon. So those are already 3. So let's move to 2015. In 2015, I did a video where I had a segregation of sort between the non-fiction, comics, and fiction, and for some reason in non-fiction I included Citizen by Claudia Rankine. I guess I was thinking that this doesn't belong to fiction, but there is no poetry category. Yeah, I guess that was my logical conclusion back then. I agree, we could disagree with that logic. I'm with you on that one. So that was Citizen by Claudia Rankine in non-fiction top 3 category. I will keep it for now. Then there was The Yellow Wind by David Grossman. I will keep it. This is one of the best depiction of Israeli-Palestinian conflict I have ever read. Brilliant, very humanistic. I think as balanced as it could be, even coming from any other perspective. David Grossman has a heart of gold. And he's a man that lost his son in this conflict, by the way. Then number 1 was Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. You know, Yuval Noah Harari is sometimes criticized that he simplifies a lot, but guys, those are thousands of years of human history. How can you write a book about that, not simplifying? I mean, I love this book still, so I will keep it. So we have all 3 non-fictions that we keep. It doesn't look good. I will probably have to cut very harshly going forward. So fiction, top 5. There was only top 5. The Year of the Flood by Margaret Atwood. We won't keep this one. Great book, but we won't keep it. Sirius Blooms at Night by Shani Moto. Great book, but we won't keep it. Broken Glass by Alain Mabonku. Great book, but we won't keep it. The Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, number 2, and A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James, number 1. We will keep both of those. Okay. Then we have 2016. And we had only top 4 in terms of non-fiction and top 10 in terms of fiction. So non-fiction, At the Existentialist Cafe by Sarah Backwell, number 4. Great book, won't keep it. Number 3 was a Polish title by Artur Domosławski. It's not translated, so I will skip it for the sake of this video. Number 2 was Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari, you know, the follow-up to Sapiens. I won't keep it because we already have Sapiens. The Society of a Spectacle by Guy Debord was number 1. I still I still think about this one. So we will keep this one only from the non-fiction list. Then there was fiction list. Number 10, The Happy Marriage by Taha Ben Jelloun. You know, if you want to read a bit of Moroccan literature, definitely Taha Ben Jelloun is the name to go to. But we won't keep this one. The Heart or Meant the Living by Malis de Carongal. We won't keep this one. Number 8, The Book of Daniel by E.L. Doctorow. Let's keep this one. Once again, my standards weren't as great as they are right now. You know that I'm kidding. You know, I'm not that full of myself. Then we have number 7, The Enigma of the Return by Daniela Faria. Great poetic depiction of Lost in Haiti, but we won't keep this one. The Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, definitely, once again, above my standards. It should have been way higher. Human Acts by Han Kang. Brilliant book, we won't keep it. The Child of God by Cormac McCarthy. You see, I should reverse the order. The Child of God should have been number 6, and The Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy should have been number 4 or way higher. Then we have Another Country by James Baldwin. We are keeping this one. Brilliant book. White Noise by Don DeLillo. I think, you know, as intellectually stimulating as it is, for some reason, maybe because of the emotions that it fails to evoke, I somehow don't think about it at all. Crossing to Safety by Wallace Stegner, and that's a brilliant contrast to White Noise by Don DeLillo. Wallace Stegner, Crossing to Safety, is ultra low-key book. You know, it's the one that, in a very nostalgic way, depicts a friendship between couples. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, you know, and shows the change of times, obviously. Brilliant book. So yeah, Crossing to Safety by Wallace Stegner definitely stays. So we have 4 books from 2016. We will have to continue cutting, right? Then we have 2017. Okay. NonFiction, Hostage by Guy Delisle. If you are interested in reading graphic nonfiction, Guy Delisle is the name to go to, definitely. I might keep it for now. Stalin, the New Biography of Dictator by Oleg Klevniuk. You know, with biographies, the thing is that it cannot stay really as vivid in your head as anything else, because when you read a few biographies about certain person, it's very hard to distinguish which book memories belong to, really. So yeah, I loved it. I remember I loved it, but I won't keep it for now. A Little History of Religion by Richard Holloway. I will keep this one out. It's very impressive how Richard Holloway writes about religions being the emissary of one of those, at least for the most of his life, because later on he left the church, but not the religion, I think. And I also love that he looks at religion as a form of art, in a way, rather than the thing to die for, as a lot of people do, okay? Then The Voices from Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich, definitely in. I loved it. Evicted by Matthew Desmond. You see, you know, I was very moved by the stories in this book, and that's why it ended up being #1 back then. But now, you know, the emotions calm down, and I want to keep it. I mean, as brilliant as it is, but The Voices from Chernobyl, definitely stronger. Fiction. The Parcel by Anosh Irani. Incredibly moving story of sex workers in India. Incredibly moving. But yeah, I don't think there will be room for that one. But for now, I will keep it. Atom by Ollie Smith. Brilliant. I won't keep it. Eve Out of Her Ruins by Amanda Devi. This is the only book till now that I've read that came from Mauritius, or Mauritian writer, and it's absolutely brilliant. I will keep this one in. Eve Out of Her Ruins by Ananda Devi. If you haven't read it, I really cannot think about any single person that wouldn't like it. First of all, it's a tiny book. Second of all, it's extremely well written. Then it depicts very young characters and the struggle in this poverty-stricken environment. And the main character is a young girl that tries to break free using her body as the medium of breaking free from this environment. So she basically sells her body in order to be able to run away. That's brilliant. Lincoln in the Bardo by George Sanders, brilliant. That was very strong, yeah. Very strong, yeah. And #1, that was the first year when I was trying to put on #1 both the best of classics that I've read and the modern classic or the newer book from given year. So in 2017, #1 was Light in August by William Faulkner and A Horse Walks into a Bar by David Grossman, the International Booker winner from that year. And both of them I will definitely keep. Whew. So 2017 is extremely strong in terms of the books that I still see as my favorites. The year 2018, and we have top 10 fiction and top 10 non-fiction. We will start from the non-fiction. #10, The Line Becomes a River by Francesco Cantu. Brilliant depiction of the struggles surrounding the border between USA and Mexico. But we won't keep that one in. Talking to My Daughter About the Economy by Yanis Varoufakis. We won't keep that one in, but brilliant introduction to economy if you are interested. #8 was Waiting for the Last Bus by Richard Holloway. We won't keep that one in. Na wschód od zachodu by Wojciech Jagielski. If there is a translation of that one, I will put the picture somewhere here. This is a Polish title, so we won't keep that one in for the sake of this video. Arab of the Future by Riyad Sattouf. Brilliant, brilliant, extremely entertaining, funny, and very thought-provoking. We won't keep that one in though. British on Race, Identity and Belonging by Afua Hirsch. We won't keep that one in. Then number 4, What is Real by Adam Baker. So the subtitle for that book is The Unfinished Quest for the Meaning of Quantum Physics. Brilliant introduction to quantum physics, and we will keep that one in. Factfulness, 10 Reasons We're Wrong About the World and Why Things Are Better Than You Think by Hans Rosling. I believe this is super important book that shows you that things are maybe not as doomed as we think they are, in terms at least of people's standards of living. Of course, in terms of environment, we are fucked, basically, okay? But yeah. The Future of Humanity, number 2, Terraforming Mars, Interstellar Travel, Immortality and Our Destiny Beyond Earth by Michio Kaku, and we will keep that one in. That's a brilliant book. Two Sisters, A Father, His Daughters and Their Journey into the Syrian Jihad by Asner Seierstadt. In. So we have 3 books from the top 10 list that we keep in terms of non-fiction. This is What is Real, The Unfinished Quest for the Meaning of Quantum Physics by Adam Baker, The Future of Humanity by Michio Kaku, and Two Sisters by Asner Seierstadt. Okay guys, those 3. I know this is a bit of a mess, but it's not scripted. Okay, so now top 10 fictional books from 2018. Warlight by Michael Ondaatje. We won't keep it in, great book. Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk, great book. We won't keep that one in. The Bizarre Stories by Olga Tokarczuk. This is my self-imposed English title because this collection wasn't yet translated into English, but we won't keep it in. This is probably one of my favorite books by Olga Tokarczuk, by the way. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. We won't keep that one in. The Only Story by Julian Barnes. We won't keep that one in. White Tears by Hari Kunzru. That's a difficult decision. We won't keep that one in. When I Hit You, A Portrait of the Writer as a Young Wife by Meena Kandasamy. This is brilliant. Let me think. Let's keep it for now, okay? Then we have Go and Gone by Jenny Erpenbeck. I was extremely moved because this is a very humanistic approach towards the problem of immigration, but in terms of literary elements, I'm not so sure. So we will keep that one out. The Overstory by Richard Powers, number 2, definitely in. And once again, number 1 in terms of fiction was shared by the classic and something modern. So we have The Demons or The Possessed. You know, there are 2 titles for this Dostoevsky novel, and we have Milkman by Anna Burns, and we will keep both in. Okay, so we are going to just finalize 2019. It was just a few weeks ago when I published my 2 lists of non-fiction and fiction. So, in terms of non-fiction, let's see how it goes. The Bookseller of Kabul by Asner Seierstadt, number 10. We won't keep that one in. Dear America, Notes of Undocumented Citizen. We won't keep that one in. AI Superpowers, China, Silicon Valley. We won't keep that one in. Then we have The Body, A Guide for Occupants by Bill Branson. We won't keep that one in. On Fire, The Burning Case for a Green New Deal, number 6 by Naomi Klein. We won't keep that one in. The Economy of Inequality by Thomas Piketty. I will keep that one in. How to Change Your Mind, What the New Science of Psychedelics Teaches Us About Consciousness, Drug Addiction, Depression, Transcendence by Michael Pollan. The longest title ever. We won't keep that one in. Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. We will keep that one in, and that totally contradicts what I said about Oleg Klevniuk, Biography of Stalin. Then we have number 2, Terra Nullius, A Journey Through No One's Land. I could explain the previous thing, but we don't have time for that. By Sven Lindqvist, Terra Nullius, A Journey Through No One's Land was number 2, and number 1 was once again Sven Lindqvist with All the Brutes and I will keep both of those in. Okay, then we have fiction. Number 10, The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. We won't keep that one in. The Years by Annie Ernaux. We won't keep it in. On Earth We Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. We won't keep that one in. The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. This is very exceptional and very unusual. I will keep it in. Colson Whitehead, The Nickel Boys. We won't keep that one in. Lost Children Archive by Valeria Louis-Selly. We won't keep that one in. Season of Migrations to the North by Tayeb Salih. That's difficult. I will keep that one in for now. The Ministry of Atmos Happiness by Arundhati Roy. We will keep that one in, at least for now. Beer in the Snooker Club by Vagi Gali. We will keep that one in, at least for now. And Dax Newberry Pollard by Lucy Ellman. We will keep that one in. So, okay guys, so we did our job. We went through 2014, 15, 16, 17, and 19. Oh, I count so well. I'm just kidding, obviously. So in terms of non-fiction, we have 14 books. We will have to cut out 4 more. And in terms of fiction, we have bigger problems, but let's get to that one later. So in terms of non-fiction, I will have to cut out 4 more. Okay, so I will cut out Hostage by Guy Delisle. I will cut out A Little History of Religion by Richard Holloway. I will cut out The Economics of Inequality by Thomas Piketty. I will cut out Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. Okay, so in that case, we are ending up with the top 10 non-fiction books, and those are in no particular order. In no particular order. I don't think it's possible right now for me to rank them. So we have Terra Nullius, A Journey Through No One's Land by Sven Lindqvist. We have Exterminate All the Brutes by the same Sven Lindqvist. We have What is Real? The Unfinished Quest for the Meaning of Quantum Physics by Adam Baker. We have The Future of Humanity, Terraforming Mars, Interstellar Travel, Immortality and Our Destiny Beyond Earth by Michio Kaku. We have Two Sisters, A Father, His Daughters and Their Journey into the Syrian Jihad by Asne Seyerstadt. We have Voices from Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich. We have The Society of Spectacle by Guy Debord. We have Citizen by Claudia Rankin. We have The Yellow Wind by David Grossman. And we have Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. And now the troubles begin. Because fiction, we ended up with 21 books. So I have to cut more than half of those. Okay, let's be brutal here. Okay guys, so my top 10 favorite novels that I've read over the last 6 years since I'm running this channel are The Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, Crossing to Safety by Wallace Stegner, Another Country by James Baldwin, The Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, A Horse Walks into a Bar by David Grossman, Light in August by William Faulkner, A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James, Milkman by Anna Burns, and Dax Newberry Report by Lucy Ellman. And I feel very sorry for all the books I had to cut out. Those are as brilliant, but in order to have this game completed, we needed to do what needs to be done, right? Okay guys, so top 10 books. Let me know if you read any of those. Obviously you did. Do you agree with any of my decisions, or you think that I absolutely screwed up cutting out some of your favorites? Let me know down in the comments below. Obviously this video was a bit chaotic as it was not scripted at all. So yeah, this is what you have when you don't organize your thoughts. Remember, children, be always prepared. Okay guys, yeah, it's not even funny for me, okay? That wasn't funny, we will cut that joke out. Okay, so have a brilliant weekend. It will take me forever to edit this video and to cut what needs to be cut out. So, see you in the future. Bye bye.